Hi there, it's Jen, and I'm excited to be sharing another process video with you. I'm using the October 2014 Scraptastic Hard Erases Kit and add-on. Here I'm showing you some of the supplies I'm going to be using, and I'm using a large photo for this layout, which I really love because I feel like when I use a large photo, it kind of dictates where, like, it's easy, it takes the guesswork out of where to place embellishments and titling. Because the photo's so big, it takes up so much space that there are only so many spots that you can put things. So I've already pre-done my journaling, and I just typed it up and printed it out on my computer. I have a wide format printer, so I'd be able to print that on my printer. And sorry, I bumped the mic there if you heard that. As soon as I got this photo, printed it out, and sat down to scrapbook it, I knew I wanted to put some words along the line of my sister's stomach. That's my sister and my daughter. And so I thought about using some letter stickers, but they were going to be too big. So I found these rub-ons on the Teresa Collins rub-on sheet that came in the kit, and they ended up working perfectly. The words say "wonderful journey," which is such so fitting for the story that I'm going to tell. So they're not curved, so I'm just rubbing on one letter at a time and kind of adjusting the rub-on to follow the curvature of her stomach. So the story that I'm going to tell today is about my daughter and my sister. My daughter is 8 years old, and my sister is just 12 years older than her, and so they have kind of a sister-like relationship. And my daughter for a long time has wanted another sibling, but I haven't been able to have more children. And I feel like my sister having this baby is kind of like my daughter getting a sibling. Not really, but she feels an extra closeness to this baby because she's so close to my sister. And I do too, actually, but I don't know. She just was so excited for this baby to come. And so this picture is one of my favorites of her just looking at her belly, and she's so excited, and she already had a special place in her heart for this little boy even before he was born. And you might have seen him on some of my other videos. He's actually is 4 months old today, so I can't believe it's been that long, but this is just a few weeks before my sister gave birth. And so I just really wanted to tell that story and get that down. So just quickly, you'll see me hand cutting out some of the flowers from that Teresa Collins beautiful floral paper that you've seen all around. Everyone's loving this paper and this collection from Teresa Collins, myself included. It is just gorgeous. 9 & Company is the name of the collection. And so I'm going to hand cut some flowers out of the paper. So I'll be doing that for a minute. So I'm just going to quickly tell you a little bit more about the story, but really, again, I've lately been thinking about what stories do I want to tell in my scrapbooks. And what I really want to tell is the stories that matter. I don't want it to be full of fluff. I do like the fluff and, just the fun pages. But I want stories that matter and stories that I want to reflect on later, and I want to make sure I get those stories told now while I still remember them and while they're still fresh in my mind. So that's this page is really special to me for that reason. And so again, I'm just I'm going to be hand cutting this paper out for a little while. But it's a labor of love. And I have been watching Gilmore Girls because it's on Netflix now. And so I just was sitting here and watching Gilmore Girls while I was cutting. So it didn't seem too laborious or anything. Plus, I don't mind hand cutting. It's kind of a relaxing endeavor. But if you didn't want to hand cut this, I think that Teresa Collins has a sheet of chipboard stickers with this same collection, and it has one of these floral pieces on it that's pre-cut. So if you didn't want to hand cut it all, then you could do that. But I didn't have that sheet, and like I said, I don't really mind cutting, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. And you'll see me kind of playing around with it a little bit. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, that little heart that you see between the words wonderful and journey on the picture, I just have a little, it looks like a hole punch, but it really punches hearts. I don't even know where it came from. I think someone gifted it to me. I've had it for a long time. But it just punches out little tiny hearts. So I just punched one out of that Chamel scripty word paper because the color matched the flowers perfectly, and it was a good heart color. So I just punched a little heart out of that to stick in between the words. And then you'll see that that circle silhouette die cut sitting on the layout. It says, "And the story begins." That's just a cut file from the Silhouette online store, and I will try to remember to link to that in the video notes. And I've just cut it out in white. I have a bunch of pre-cut words in white that I just keep in a little folder so that when I want to add things I can just color them or, you know, keep them white or whatever. But I find that I don't go to my silhouette often while I'm in the middle of making something, and so I just pre-cut a bunch of stuff. I mean, I will sometimes go to my Cameo and cut stuff out, but a lot of times I'll just pull from what I have right at my fingertips. So anyway, this happened to be in my little folder, and it works perfectly with this page. So you can see I've placed my one cutout floral swag next to the photo, and I kind of thought it would be nice to have a little bit more, and so I wanted more layers. So I'm just cutting out another little floral piece from the paper, and I'm going to be tucking it underneath the photo, so I'm just cutting it from the edge of the paper, and it really was much easier to cut out than that first one. Which is good because it took me long enough. Although in total this page took me about 50 minutes. It's really, really simple. If you didn't hand cut all that stuff, you could do it lickety-split. So I'm just kind of deciding where I want these pieces to go, and I'll fiddle with them a bit, and they don't end up exactly where they are. But so I kind of place them like this. I want to cover up that corner of the photo, and I decided that I needed something up in that space to the left of the photo, that white space, and so I'm just cutting out another little piece that I can kind of stick in to fill up that space a little. And it's just these little peach kind of flowers. So I'm just cutting those out. And then I will kind of play around with it and see where I want it to go. And I'm really excited to be scrapbooking again. I feel like it's been forever. Just been one of those weeks where I haven't had time, and I have probably ideas for 10 layouts just rolling around in my head right now that I'm desperate to make, and I just haven't had time. So hopefully I'll get another one done tonight. We'll see. So here I take one of those Fancy Pants, or a sticker from the Fancy Pants sticker sheet that says, I think it says "Love This," and it's a little arrow, and it matches really great. And it doesn't end up making it on the layout, and I think it's because I just forgot about it. In fact, until I watched this video, I forgot I even had it. And so it doesn't end up making it, I think just because I forgot. But I'm just looking through some of my embellishments to see what else I could add. So I've pulled out that wood cross-section of a tree with a heart in it. I love that wood veneer. I think everyone's been loving it. It's so cute. And then I pull out the favorite little clip from Lawn Fawn. That's that light yellow color. I was going to say blue. My brain's not working, I guess. And then a couple of the cut-aparts. And then I pulled out these Heidi Swap glitter words, which I honestly, they got stuck between some papers, and I forgot they came in the kit. So I haven't used them yet, but I will eventually, but they don't end up making it on the layout either. So here I am looking at my different stickers for title options, and I'm going to pull out my wax paper so that I can put my title on it and move it around. So I pull out these Fancy Pants, this orangey red color. They call them orange, but it really is an orangey red. And I'm thinking about the title "Can't Wait," just because that look on my daughter's face is just so cute, and she's so excited. She was so excited for this baby to come, and so I thought "Can't Wait" would be a good title. There wasn't a little what do you call that? I want to say comma, but it's not. Apostrophe. So I just cut one out of a period. And just placing the letters down, thinking about it. And it's feeling kind of heavy to me. It matches the flowers perfectly, but I really want the focus to be on the photo and that cluster above, and the title is pulling my eye down. And so I'm going to go back and forth on this for a minute. I thought that if I changed the base paper out to like a chocolate cocoa color, that I would like it better. And so I do that, and then I thought maybe I'll use the peach to back the that little circle that said "and the story begins." So I gut that paper so that in case I want to use it for a border, I still can. And as soon as I get that peach paper on, I thought, you know what? This is the perfect title. It pops now. It looks so cute. And so I just decided to ditch the idea of doing a title with letter stickers, and I just use "and the story begins" for my title. And it works perfectly because the story really does begin when a child is born. The story begins for my sister becoming a mother. That story begins. My daughter being his little cousin, and his life begins. So this is just really the start of a lot of stories, and so that really was the perfect title. And I thought at first that it was just going to be kind of a subtitle, and I was going to do white on white, but like I said, once I backed it with the peach, it was perfect. And then I ended up switching that background paper back to the peach too. And I just like the lightness that it gives. Again, it just lets everything focus in on the photo. So when you keep the embellishments to the photo, then your eye goes there first. And that's really what I wanted here. And so I did think, though, that underneath the journaling needed a little something. So I put these little, what are they? Little triangle border. I put the triangle border underneath. And then I thought about using some of those. I hand cut some more little flowers out of the paper, but they just weren't working for me. And then I remembered that there was a rub-on with that same floral piece that I cut out of the paper, and that worked perfectly. So I just went ahead and rubbed that on. At first I wasn't sure if it would work because the rub-on is kind of a different texture, a different look from the paper. It's more shiny, but it ends up working perfectly. And I knew I needed a little something down there, but I didn't want something too distracting. And so the smaller version really helps tie it all together without really pulling your eye too much. So it worked perfectly. And then I just put that little heart on a piece of foam, like a foam square, so that it would pop up. And then I'm just going to mount the whole thing to this background piece of cardstock. And you can see that I gutted out the middle so that I could use it behind that circle, my circular title. I do have another sheet of this, but I might want to use it again. I didn't know if I'd like this color. When you see it, it's not, I don't know, I wasn't naturally drawn to it, but I really actually love it. Then I took it to my sewing machine and I stitched around the edges, and then I'm just going to secure the back with some washi tape. And then I'll just go ahead and adhere everything. And this is kind of where that arrow got lost in the shuffle. But that's okay. It looks good without it. I'm just being really careful. I'm putting some dot adhesive on that silhouette cut file and putting it back on that peach cardstock. I'm just really loving the way that this turned out. So now I'm just going to fiddle with those flowers and try to get them exactly right. They definitely don't turn out how they were laying on it before I moved everything, but that's okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can make this look good and fill up that that space. But I move up those flowers, but I don't want the corner of the photo to be poking out because those flowers make it kind of soft. That hard edge was bothering me, so I just made sure I covered it up with the flowers. And they end up looking like this, and I think they turned out really nice. So now I'm just going to put my title down with some foam tabs, and I'm kind of going to nestle it underneath so the flowers overlap it a little bit. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I like to do that. I just feel like it makes things more cohesive when you have them touching other elements of the page. And then because I put that on foam squares, I was able to put that little wood veneer piece. It just nestled right underneath it. And then I used that For Like Ever flare badge to complete a trio of 3 little circles there. So I love the way that looks. And then I just put some Heidi Swapp Gold Mist around all of the floral pieces. And then I'm going to use my Heidi Swapp roller date stamp with my Close to My Heart slate ink to stamp the date just underneath that border of triangles. And that is going to complete my layout. I really love the way that it turned out, and I hope that you enjoyed watching. And I have been enjoying making these videos so much. I am so grateful to all my subscribers. Thank you so, so much. I love reading your comments, and I've just been overjoyed and thrilled with the amount of people who want to watch my videos. So keep on watching, and I'll keep on making, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.